Good afternoon, everyone. I'm meteorologist James Long with Dynamic Weather Agency, and today we got a great video for you guys talking about some winter storms and some severe weather. But before we could get into today's video, I need you guys to hit that like button down below and subscribe to our channel. If you haven't already, be sure to check us out on social media and also visit us online on our website, dynamicweatheragency.com. Also, guys, please be sure to check out our Patreon page. We have a ton of different membership levels ranging all the way from $1 up to even $100 a month. That is going to be for channel/page sponsors. We plan to make all of our forecast information public, as I have stopped doing professional weather consulting and forecasting services, with the exception of my event and my forensic meteorological services. I still plan to offer storm chasing and media services over the summer when I get the chance to chase. Subscribing and becoming a Patreon will help fund some of the projects, as in storm chasing and some of the research projects I am working on. I continue to make my forecasting with the Air Force my primary job, so this YouTube stuff is going to be my second job. That's the reason why we stopped doing some of our weather services. We did have commercial and regional weather forecasting services, and we just decided to cut those off and told our clients I am more focused on my career as a meteorologist with the Air Force, and I just wanted to continue to make videos like this, so I need to continue to bring in another source of income. With making our forecasts public, this is also going to increase traffic on our website, which is going to increase API calls to the weather services we use, which also is going to cost more money. So the more people we can get to back up and support us, the better we can make our website, and the better we can make more content for for you guys here on YouTube. Now, getting into today's video, taking a look at the current national radar, we can see we got this low pressure center that's located over parts of southeastern Iowa, northeastern Missouri, that's creating some wintry precipitation up in the upper Midwest. As we zoom in here, we see snowfall occurring in Minneapolis, Des Moines, and even in Green Bay. As we zoom back out to our national radar, we also see precipitation occurring in parts of the northwest CONUS. This is again with a low pressure center that's off the coast. We see precipitation occurring in Seattle with some wintry precipitation over Mount Olympus, over the Olympic Mountains, and of course some more wintry precipitation in central Washington with areas of higher elevation. Going back out to our national radar, again we can see some more precipitation occurring down in parts of the southwestern U.S. This area has been impacted by some drought conditions, as noted by the U.S. Drought Monitor, with some exceptional drought occurring across the southwest U.S. during this winter. Again, we're seeing some rain right now, but some of this rain is going to transition to snow as this low pressure center begins to develop and begins to move north. You'll see that the National Weather Service has some advisories in effect down in this area. Again, we're seeing some of that wintry precipitation occurring with some of the mountains and the higher elevation in California. Looking at satellite imagery, this is our water vapor satellite imagery. You can see some of that moisture being pushed in from the subtropical jet in parts of the southwestern CONUS. You can also see that nice baroclinic leaf that's beginning to develop, that's going to be kind of prime for the development of this low, because this low pressure center is going to develop in the southwestern portion of CONUS, and it's going to track its way across CONUS. That's going to bring those impacts for those winter storms and severe weather later on. But before I could get into this video and go any further, I want to tell you guys to beware of some of these Facebook pages and some posts that you can see going around on the internet. This group is called Meteorologists. This group is ran by not a meteorologist. Basically, he is creating doomsday forecasts, claiming that monstrous, deadly blizzard conditions are forecast to hit Nebraska and Iowa. Well, while this is not true, there is going to be, snowfall in this area, but not this monstrous, deadly blizzard conditions. I took some information from his bio. He's a 52-year-old male who is the aging king. You can get into his anti-aging program this is not a meteorologist. Basically, these are doomsday forecasts, basically meant to get likes and shares. This post has been shared over 8,000 times. There's over 800 comments and thousands of likes. And people believe him, unfortunately, and that's the bad thing. But people don't check their facts. His page, his website page, actually on this Facebook page is fakeweather.com. Although it's not even a real domain, the site doesn't even come up. So be careful of where you're getting your weather information from. So some of you might be asking, what makes me different than this random guy on the internet? Well, one, I did go to college. I got 2 bachelor's degrees, one in professional meteorology and climatology, and one in geographic information systems, or GIS. While I was at Ball State, I got Ball State certified as a storm-ready campus. I also was the director of the Ball State Storm Chase team for 2 years and the assistant director for a year prior. I also received the David Odom Award for Excellence in Service in Meteorology. I'm a professional storm chaser and a consulting meteorologist at Dynamic Weather Agency. You can find my videos on the Weather Channel, on the hit series World's Wildest Weather, which appears at night on the Weather Channel. You can see the rest of my footage on Good Morning America and other many national and local news agencies. And lastly, I'm a weather forecaster for the United States Air Force for the 28th OWS, Operational Weather Squadron. So let's take a look at some of the past weather that we had. So the Christmas Eve, Christmas Day snow event, this was our last snowfall graphic that we posted, showing that we're going to see some extensive snowfall across the Ohio Valley region, with some lake effect snow on Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. This was our snowfall forecast graphic that we ended up posting on our website. Taking a look at the observed values, you can see our graphic did rather well. You can see that lake effect snow on Lake Erie. You can see again that lake effect snow on Lake Ontario with 12 inches. You see 14 some inches down here. As we go back to our graphic, we were forecasting 12 to 16 with a higher amount across this area, which you can see some very light oranges in there, indicating that we have 24 some inches of snow within that region. So our forecast did verify pretty well with that last event. We then were talking about severe weather to impact parts of the southeast and Atlantic. Here's some of the wind and tornado reports. We saw a couple tornadoes that occurred in North Carolina, one in Florida. There was quite a few tornado warnings, just very few of those tornadoes actually touched down and are confirmed. I did see that there were 2 injuries with some of these tornadoes, but I don't remember exactly where those 2 injuries occurred. So taking a look at the National Weather Service's current hazards, we do see some of those winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings across parts of the southwestern U.S. Like I said, that system is going to move up to the north, and snowfall is going to begin to increase across that region. And we did see the snow occurring in parts of the mountainous regions in California. And then we have some winter weather advisories for some of that snow that's pushing through Wisconsin right now. So taking a look at our Futurecast radar, we're going to be basically looking at the Euro. We can see some of that snowfall that's occurring in the upper Midwest. That snow is going to begin pushing into Wisconsin, where we saw those winter weather advisories. Snowfall is going to begin to increase across parts of the Southwest. This is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time today. Like I said, the snowfall is going to begin to occur across parts of the upper Midwest into Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan as that low pressure system moves out of Iowa into basically the Great Lakes, where Illinois and Indiana meet with Lake Michigan. As we continue to go further on in time, this system is going to push off into Canada. And that snowfall again increasing over parts of the Southwest. You can see that low beginning to develop in California. System's going to push its way across the Rocky Mountains. See this new low pressure system that has begun to develop. Alright, so as we get into 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on the 29th, we got this new low pressure system that has begun to develop. See that wintry mix of precipitation occurring in parts of Nebraska. It's going to affect parts of Kansas and southern Iowa. Snowfall occurring in parts of the upper Midwest and the upper Great Plains. With a cold front, with precipitation and rain showers occurring from Kansas all the way down to Texas. So taking a look at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 29th to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 30th, we'll see that low pressure system begin to move off to the north and to the east. We'll still see some mixed precipitation, some ice accumulation along that rain band. Another low pressure system is going to begin to develop across Missouri. This system is then going to again track to the north and to the east, bring some more snowfall to some areas further south in our graphic than where our graphic is. We only did our graphic out a couple of days, I think for 72 hours. This will be longer than 72 hours, so the models aren't that good, so you won't see any snowfall in some parts of Illinois and Indiana that are expecting to see some more snowfall with this second system that's going to be moving through, so take note of that. Also with that second system is also going to be the driving factor for some of the severe weather that we're going to see down in parts of the southeast and Gulf Coast states. So again, taking a look at our current surface analysis, like I said, we got that low pressure system that's going to be that's located over this part of Iowa and Missouri with some winter precipitation that's going to move off to the north and to the east. Got this kind of low pressure center over the southwest. This low pressure center is going to begin to develop. Again, that snowfall is going to increase at parts of the southwest and parts of the Great Plains region. This low is going to continue to track its way across CONUS. And then as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, along the cold front, we can expect to see some severe weather across parts of the south central U.S. and the Gulf Coast. With this system, ice is going to be a factor across parts of Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, and Missouri. Taking a look at the Euro, this is what the Euro believes for snowfall, a swath of basically 5 to 10 inches of snowfall with some higher accumulated amounts, with a max of about 11 inches of snowfall occurring across parts of Iowa and Wisconsin. The GFS is trending a little bit more snowfall across that region, with snowfall totals around 17 to 18 inches. Taking a look at the National Weather Service blend of models, it's tending a little bit less, with 7 to 8 inches of snowfall across the region, with maybe some higher amounts across Wisconsin. And taking a look at the UK Met, again, this is a little bit further south than some of the other models, but also the UK Met is indicating some higher snowfall totals across the region, with more snowfall totals from the 10 to 12 range across parts of this eastern portion of Iowa, southwestern portion of Wisconsin. So that was something we'll have to keep an eye on too. But we kind of think the UK Met is a little bit of an outlier, just due to that more southerly track, while the Euro and the GFS and the National Blend of Models is expecting that more northerly track. The GFS, again, like it was showing, was expecting higher snowfall totals than the Euro, which is actually kind of surprising that the GFS is actually overdoing it a little bit more this time. Normally we've been seeing the Euro forecasting some higher snowfall totals, but it's all going to depend on, with that low pressure system that's developing, how much upper level support is going to be within the region, and how that frontogenesis band along the warm front is going to be, because that's going to be kind of where that highest snowfall total amounts is going to line up with, is where that strong frontogenesis band is going to be. Taking a look at the WSSI days 1 through 3 overall winter storm impacts, you can see we have moderate winter storm impacts. Taking a look at our winter weather risk analysis, like I said, confidence is increasing in significant in a significant winter storm on Tuesday and Wednesday of basically this next week. Heavy snowfall is most likely across parts of Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. It's still too early to know exactly where the heaviest snowfall is going to occur, but snowfall totals greater than 6 inches is likely, with some isolated areas seeing up to a foot of snow. Models are continuing to change, so we'll have to continue to monitor them. But we have made a graphic based off of our best guess and our expertise with winter weather forecasting in this area, with my experience that I have had. Again, freezing rain will be possible from eastern Kansas to southern Nebraska through northern Missouri, Iowa, and Illinois as that system begins to track, like we saw on those WPC charts and the simulated radar charts. We saw that wintry precipitation continue its way all the way up into Illinois. As we take a look at our winter weather threats, snowfall is going to be high just due to the accumulation amounts over the region. Slight impacts on freezing rain and ice, where we see those transition zones from rain to snowfall. Winds, we're going to have slight impacts with that. We will see some winds 25 to even maybe 40 miles an hour, depending on how long those persist and visibility factors. We could see blizzard-like conditions, but we're not going to see actual blizzard conditions just because of the criteria for that is going to be kind of hard to reach, as in, like, you have to have the temporal scale of visibility and winds and blowing and drifting snow for 3 hours. I don't see those conditions lasting for more than 3 hours, so we won't meet those blizzard criteria, but we'll see blizzard-like conditions for some time. Taking a closer look at our snowfall forecast map, we're expecting a big swath of 5 to 8 inches of snow, with that isolated area of 8 to 12 inches of snow occurring in parts of northeastern Iowa, southeastern Minnesota, and through central Wisconsin. As we mentioned, we're expecting some severe weather Wednesday through Thursday, expecting to impact parts of the south central U.S. and southeast, especially parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and parts of the Florida Panhandle. The primary factors for this event is going to be tornadoes and some damaging winds. Large hail is not going to be a factor, and some slight flooding. As we take a look at our moisture, we're going to see some nice southerly flow ahead of the surface low, bring in some moist air advection. This moist air is going to interact with a surface front that's going to provide some lift. Taking a look at our jet stream, we do see some diffluent flow across the southeast. That's going to create some exhaust aloft and a jet max moving in. Taking a look at our 500 millibars, we got this nice 500 millibar trough with some Vort max moving on through the region. Taking a look at our lifted index, which is a more accurate measure of instability. We can see some instability across Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama on Wednesday, and this will continue into Thursday. Taking a look at shear, we got shear values of basically 30 to 70 some knots across the region, which is sufficient shear to allow for organized convection. Taking a look at our crossover winds from the surface to 500 millibars, we see southeasterly winds at the surface across parts of Mississippi and Alabama, with southwesterly winds aloft, indicating we have some directional wind shear. We also see the speed shear with winds at the surface at 10 to 15 knots, with the winds aloft at 500 millibars around 50 to 65 knots. So we have that speed shear and that directional shear that will allow for some nice photographs across the region, which will be supportive of some tornadic thunderstorms and supercells. Alright guys, that concludes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please be sure to like and subscribe down below. Also, check out our Patreon page. Help support this channel. Help me be able to make more videos like this for you guys and continue to make great content. As always, I'm meteorologist James Longworth, signing out.